Don't try to sneak into your room like that. I know what you've got behind your back. Records. More new records.
I just reviewed the new Little Feet Sailin Shoes reissue from Rhino, and it's this one right here. And they say it's recut, the Bernie Grundman recutter from the original master tape, and to me, it doesn't sound that way. So let's do this. I recorded an excerpt from this. I recorded an excerpt from an original promo pressing, and I recorded an excerpt from the Mobile Fidelity reissue from some years back. And this is all analog. This is before they started using DXD. So, look at the colors here on Neon Park's painting. And now look at the original. And now look at the MoFi. So the MoFi and the original look more similar to each other than the reissue, which looks too red. But that's a minor thing. So what I want you to listen for, I want you to listen, if you care about any of this. If you don't care about any of this, then don't watch the video, okay? If you care about any of this, Richie Hayward hits these eighth note cymbal hits. And on the original and on the MoFi, they're really clean hits. They have a really nice high frequency component to them, and it's a really clean hit. It really is clean. On the latest reissue, it's blunted and kind of clunky sounding. It doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like what I usually hear when I hear high frequency transients. Often, not always. Now, it's true that this is from the original fresh tape. It's also true, I've been playing this record for 50 years. 50 years I've been playing this record. So, if records wear out, you listen to the high frequencies on that cymbal hit there, and listen to it on the MoFi, where it's still really, really good. And the tape obviously still had those high frequencies, and then listen to it on this one. Now, I've gotten emails that insist that the producer says Bernie cut it from the tape directly. I've heard Bernie's system on so many recordings. This just doesn't sound like it. And I'm not saying he's not telling the truth, but I will tell you that at one point I did review a reissue of a box set, and it sounded really digital. And this was a Bernie cut, and it said Bernie cut it. And so I wrote that it just sounds really digital. And the producer called me in a huff and said this was cut by Bernie from the tapes. So Bernie doesn't want to talk about this because, he's got a customer and he's pleasing the customer, and he's not going to go against what the customer says. I mean, you got to be realistic. We live in a real world here where there's customers and clients, and he wasn't going to answer. But someone else in the studio, who I will not divulge, not someone at the top there, said to me, no, that was cut from a file, whatever they say. So you really don't know. You don't know sometimes. And that's one of the problems in this whole reissue game. This new reissue is very good. It's not compressed. It didn't try to rewrite history. It didn't try to make it something that it's not, like the rough mix one, which was just an abomination. This is a good reissue of a 50-year-old tape, but it just doesn't sound as transparent and open and real and three-dimensional as the original, or actually side 2 of the MoFi. Side 1 of the MoFi, I don't know what would happen there. It just sounds like it's defective. So you listen. I'm gonna have a video going with this, and the video, it's not the real video. There's no point in playing each one for you. I don't want you to know which is which. It'll play with one of these things being recorded, and you'll hear all three. I'm not going to say which is which. It'll just say 1, 2, and 3. And you tell me which you think sounds best. Now, I know there's something oxymoronic about taking a record and digitizing it and then putting it through the algorithm and putting it onto YouTube. But the differences, I think, will still be apparent. I've done this before, and the algorithm, or whatever it is that YouTube does with the audio, it's pretty good, actually. So you tell me what you hear, okay? Okay, thanks.